Welcome back to the Koster 200, brought to you by N1 4x4 Cruiser and Toyota, your four-wheel drive experts. The next round of the Africa Off-Road Racing Championship Series. We've already covered the kiddies, the juniors, we've had the bikes, the quads, and everything else in between out there. Now it's the turn for the cars, the side-by-sides, and the buggies. They get their bite of the cherry and get to unleash around the Koster area for their 200 Ks of racing. Quick riders briefing, drivers briefing, telling everyone what they are in for. And of course, the prize giving from the previous event at the NTT Klerksdorp 200. Once all the drivers have got their trophies from the previous event, it is time to get locked and loaded and get themselves prepared for the task at hand. That's the Koster 200. Nice initiative that they run here, only handing out the trophies at the next event from the previous round. Why? Because it makes sure everyone turns up for the next event. I like that. Make sure that you get the same people coming and hopefully a few more extras along the way as well. Nice lineup as well. Good numbers on the page for the Koster 200 event.
Good morning, my name is Werner Mostert. I'm from Motornetics. We are here today in Koster for the Koster 200. We're looking forward to the day. We haven't been here for some time, so we're really excited to enjoy the day out here with everybody.
My name is Jan Stein. I'm riding B67 today. We're back with the Monster after being a while on the P-Class car. It's a total new route I see, and I hope that we're going to do well on the car.
Hi, we are here at the Koster 200 today. We want to say thank you for Forces for sponsoring this event, and we're ready for the thing today. So good luck to all the racers.
And thanks for that. Now it's time to get everyone into their vehicles, and a wide spread of vehicles it is too. You've got the side-by-sides, you've got some of the Bakkies, some former national championship winning Bakkies as well, some old stalwarts, you've seen that Bantam a long time, and then the special vehicles as well. The story of this year has very much been all the side-by-sides and the G1 of Robbie Leishman and Marie Leishman opening up our racing account to get on out there in the Can-Am. These cars are really something to behold, and you can take them straight out of the box and go racing. The B1, that's going to be doing the chase down. That's Johnny Walker and Johnny Walker Sr. And this is a non-production vehicle. Believe me, that thing has been built from the ground up. As we make our way through the rest of the categories, some of the E's, the E was always a low production vehicle. So in other words, a smaller suspension travel package as well as a smaller engine, but nonetheless, easy racing and cheap racing as well. A good way to start going into the Bakkies. As you start climbing the ladder into the D category, the D33 here, much bigger engine, much better suspension, and we go on board with the boys, Francois van der Walt and Gerry Prinsloo, to see how it looks from a driver's and navigator's point of view in their single cab Toyota Hilux. Bakkie racing, absolutely love it. Another point of view as well from the same crew, this time looking inside the cab as to how much work is happening behind the wheel and on the navi. And you've got to love that little horn that he's got there blowing, making sure that the riders and drivers in front know exactly who is coming and ploughing their way through the pack. The E7, Charmaine van Aswegen and Carleen Croshaw, they get the job done. And the D and E category today is going to be an absolutely wild run. There's a lot of drivers and a lot of crews that are able to run the numbers. Tinus Jacobs and Tommy Van Tonder bouncing and bucking their way through. You gotta love it when you see categories like this, the D28, one of the few racing Land Rovers out there, and Musty Jacobs and Nazir Tate getting the job done. Nice spread of the special vehicles as well. The B38 getting the job done, trying to climb the ladder. That's Herman Combrink and Karen Combrink in their space frame vehicle. One of my favorite cars running out there at the moment, the F2, and this is a classic Bantam Butt. Willy Fellman and Cornelius Niemann. This car has been out there on the trails for years and years and will stay out there for years to come. Every year they breathe life back into the old dog and get it on out there. The F1 of Andre Vermeulen and Ferdy Petersen. Nice to see Petersen getting the job done as well, and they'll be chasing down the cheese in the F1 category. The L46 once again, and this is going to be an interesting story to see who can win out in the side-by-sides, the buggies, the Water World crew coming and lining up big time of Nico Durant and JG Klaassen. Sifi van Skalkwijk and Arthur Croshaw. That's going to be a fun one. I've been watching these Baja Bugs race overseas for so many years. It's been a long time since I've seen one racing on SA shores. I wish we had so many more of them. They are a real spectacle. The P47 then coming through there. That's Giel Nel and Dierwald Hatting. They're going to be an interesting one to watch. They should be able to throw in some big numbers. That is a powerful vehicle that is running the numbers out there. The P55, Julio Ferreira and Ethan Ferreira also going to be chasing down in the Class Bs. These guys run such a strong pace, they really could line up as part of the national championship as well. Werner Mostert and Henno Deploy, they'll be chasing down the numbers in the side-by-sides, and these guys love to get wild. They will absolutely revel in the loose conditions here, and they're holding absolutely nothing back. One of only two BMW X3 race spec machines running on SA soil at the moment. The T12 of Dana Voss and Cornel Berger. And how good does that look? Does not look out of place here, but it should be at home in the Dakar, in the sand dunes. The D15 of Jaco Wies and Johan Wies, they'll run out there in the stacked field, and a very, very hard run it's going to be to take a win in the Class Ds here today. More and more of the specials making their way through the start gate and out there onto lap number 1. And these vehicles all across the board will be running out there for 4 laps of racing, should they make the cut and come to the end of the day. Well marked, relatively easy tracks, making sure that they cater for the special vehicles and production vehicles alike. Flip Feldman doing an incredible job with the course layout as the D7 of Manus Dupree and Manus Gous heads on out there in a very stock looking Bakkie. The rest of the guys coming out there in these hand-built bushwhackers, the Sandmasters as we always used to know them, but a couple of manufacturers coming to the fore in the last couple of seasons. Bat, one of the most famous ones, and of course the Zarkos making up the majority of the field in the special vehicle category. Opening lap, always going to be such a big ask for everyone just to try and find their feet. And an impressive lineup here, right in the middle of the championship season for the Koster 200. Once again, brought to you by N1 4x4 Cruiser and Toyota, your four-wheel drive experts. Rounding out our start list then, the D23 of Ahmed Jada and Keith Smith. One of the old school Nissan single cabs, and this was a vehicle that was running high in the national championships a few years back. Back out there in the field, and the G1 still running clear air, the Leishmans. Untouchable at the moment, but a big push coming in from the D33 trying to do the chase down, and that means the Bakkies are starting to find their feet. Francois van der Walt is getting the hammer down. Nico Durant, though, up into third place overall, so the side-by-sides are pinning it, as is the T12 BMW of Dana Voss and Cornel Berger. They are flying. Join us after the break to see what happens at the end of the race.